recognized symbol of excellence for your entertainment.
Who among us has not imagined what it would be like to discover a buried treasure? The very thought brings a promise of romance and adventure.
Welcome to Machino Music, a show that puts music in Machino music, with your host, me, Brett Strong. Today on Machino Music, it's music's great lost media. Some of the stuff might never be found. Good afternoon, everybody. Music's great lost media. That's what we're talking about here today. A lot of people are into this lost media thing. It's a big deal. I mean, I myself, I'm obsessed with the Lost Media Wiki website. I mean, I just check that thing every day, just see what's been found. Movies, TV shows, and especially music. It's like a lot of stuff. I mean, we've been finding a lot of things, and you know, some stuff we might not find. I mean, of course, everyone knows the most mysterious song on the internet. Who did it? Who did the song? We might never know. There's whole websites devoted to this. And people even creating these elaborate hoaxes. Randall S. Turner. One of these people who thinks, I did the song. You just want to be the hero. And then say, here I am, I did the song. And then, you know, these people, these dedicated people, they're the real heroes, trying to find this stuff and debunking these crazy imposters. But it's just interesting to kind of look at this lost media thing. Of course, the song Ulterior Motives, or Everybody Knows That, or Everybody Knows It, that was found in a porno of all things. I mean, that was incredible. One of the greatest stories of lost media there's ever going to be, really. Actually, interesting, while we're talking music from porno, I may as well say this now. You know our catchy little opening theme song here? That's from porno. That's from porn, everybody. And I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm not like the guy who, you know, recorded the Everyone Knows That song and then just said, I don't know what this song is, I don't know where I found it, there's a little snippet, I found it off a thing on my computer. It's like, no, you were watching porn and you're just embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed. I'll tell you exactly. I got my music from porn, everybody. If it's not produced in-house by Machino Music, very likely it's from porn, okay? Yeah. And it was a lesbian porno. I'll tell you all what the scene was. A lesbian porno is these girls doing like gymnastics and everything, and then they just all start, you know, taking their clothes off and screwing. That was the scene. But before that, it was them doing gymnastics and the little, and that music was playing. So yeah, there you go. Fun fact right here. That's not lost media. Probably is, you can't find the scene. But yeah, there you go. But we're talking about some great music lost media here. Some of the stuff might not be found. Some of it will be. Be really cool to find some of this stuff. And let's start off with the Don Dokken demos of the Scorpions album Blackout. Apparently, Don Dokken, I think this was even before, where he'd started Dokken, and he was gonna, he somehow got in with the Scorpions. Klaus Meine couldn't do the vocals. I can't remember the exact story, but Klaus Meine couldn't do the vocals. Don Dokken sung. And this is lost. Apparently he did like the whole album. It'd be so great to hear. I mean, just like to hear Don Dokken's voice, who's kind of a bit more like a glam metal kind of guy. Totally different voice than Klaus Meine. And, wow. He'd be less German. You have an American and with all these Germans. I mean, that's gotta sound different. So yeah, it'd be really cool to hear Don Dokken singing on the Scorpions Blackout, which is my favorite Scorpions album. Love that. So yeah, that's a big one for me. I want to hear that. Also, another demo, Megadeth's first demo. The Mighty Megadeth. They have this lost media, their very first demo. And actually, interesting enough, death is spelled correctly. Has the A in it. So, apparently there's this early Megadeth tape. It would have been right after Dave was out of Metallica, and now he's out on his own, and he's got to start somewhere. These are his ideas. This is like, it's like that Metallica tape, the early Metallica. I mean, No Life Till Leather. I believe that was found. We heard a lot of this, but this one, gotta hear the early Megadeth. That's a big one. Oh, this one's really cool. I can't believe this exists. There are photos, but Dave Walker of Fleetwood Mac and the group Savoy Brown singing with Black Sabbath. There's some audio that has been found, has been released, but there's TV footage. And again, only these pictures exist. I'm showing one of the pictures. I mean, there he is. I mean, does he look like he fits in Black Sabbath? I don't know. He looks like, I guess, a Fleetwood Mac guy. Kind of looks like a Bee Gee. You know, she'd be dancing in a disco. But, you know, this is before Ronnie James Dio joined the band and was the perfect guy. I mean, he was already there. I mean, the stuff he did with Rainbow fits so perfectly when he joined Black Sabbath. You know, Ozzy couldn't do it anymore. I mean, but you got Dave Walker, you know, so it's kind of a voice you wouldn't... It sounds pretty good, the audio that has been released. I mean, it's very rough. It's not remastered. It just kind of sounds crappy. But it still doesn't sound bad. Maybe it's a bit too bluesy for Black Sabbath and what it needed to be, especially where it went on Heaven and Hell with Ronnie James Dio. But, wow. It'd just be cool to see that TV footage of him actually performing with the band. So yeah, Dave Walker singing with Black Sabbath. And speaking of Heaven and Hell and Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne apparently did sing a couple of tracks on Heaven and Hell before Ronnie James Dio came on. I mean, and Tony Iommi and Geezer Butler claim to have these demos. What are you sitting on, guys? Just put these out. If you have them, unless they're like deteriorated all to crap and they're not going to play, well then okay. There you go. You've won. You okay. Put that in the lose column. We don't get to hear it. But if they're not all crappy demos and all the tapes all screwed up, let's put this out. This would be so great to hear. Ozzy Osbourne singing Heaven and Hell. Now this apparently, like Ozzy, you know, not that's why he was like kicked out of the band. He was just like out of control. He probably sounds like crap. And I think that Tony Iommi has said that. I mean, they're just crap. They're just like Ozzy was just in such sorry shape that the vocals were just not there. But it'd still be really cool to hear, because I mean the Heaven and Hell album and the Ronnie James Dio era of Black Sabbath, I mean, he just brought the band to such new levels. And Ronnie's just a much better singer than Ozzy Osbourne when you compare the two. But it would be cool to hear the Ozzy version. Crappy or not, let's hear it. If it exists and we can get it on these demos, then we got to hear it. Also, speaking of Ozzy Osbourne, there's apparently a full concert at the Ritz, which was the Speak of the Devil concert, which was released as the album where he covered all the Black Sabbath tunes. But there's a concert footage, very little of it has actually been released. Ozzy has a bald head, so people want to see this. There's like a snippet that was released on like an Ozzy collection. It was the one with like the albums and also the music video, or the greatest hits with like some of the music videos.
I'd shave my hair off.
And there's barely footage in there and just like a little snippet, but there's a whole concert. Ozzy performing with a bald head. Apparently he's like looking at the sheet because he can't remember the words worth of crap. And it was like a really raw performance. But you get to see Brad Gillis of Night Ranger ripping it up. I mean, he's fantastic on the album. One of my all-time favorite live albums is Speak of the Devil. I'm not a huge live album guy, but I love that one. Brad Gillis sounds insane. He gets a lot of criticism in not playing the songs exactly, not playing the riffs and the solos exactly, but it doesn't matter. He still sounds fantastic. If you only know Brad Gillis from like Night Ranger, which I'm not a huge Night Ranger fan, but man, I'm a big Brad Gillis fan because on that Speak of the Devil, man, is he just ripping it up. Fantastic guitar player. So, but we got to see this live footage of Ozzy with a bald head reading off of the sheet paper and apparently sitting in a chair. It's like, I don't really know the specifics of it, but it's just this legendary performing at the Ritz nightclub, which is a very famous nightclub. So yeah, Ozzy Osbourne concert footage. Also, this is an interesting one. The band The Waitresses, best known for the song I Know What Boys Like. They had their other most famous song, Christmas Wrapping. I mean, they're still considered a one-hit wonder, but that Christmas Wrapping has become more of a hit now. It wasn't really a hit at the time it was released. But they performed it on the show Solid Gold. There's footage of them performing I Know What Boys Like. But apparently they also recorded Christmas Wrapping, and that footage is lost. People want to see it because Christmas Wrapping has become this huge song again. You hear it all like as far as like alternative Christmas songs. It's one of those tunes that people love. It's kind of a bah humbug kind of song. It's very snotty because, the Waitresses are kind of a punk band, more new wave. And people want to hear it. I want to hear it. Or I want to see it, I should say, because it's footage. And the footage that exists, you see Rex Smith introducing them. I Know What Boys Like, the great Rex Smith. Can we remember Rex Smith, everybody?
Tonight, they're singing their first Solid Gold hit called I Know What Boys Like. Please welcome The Waitresses.
Let's give it a round of applause for Rex Smith. Yes. Rex Smith, everybody. I don't know why I'm so excited to get to talk about Rex Smith. Actually, speaking of Rex Smith, this is like completely unrelated, but I guess I'm talking about Rex Smith. He did a few albums in the 70s. His debut album, Rex, heavy metal Rex Smith. It's insane. He was like a heavy metal guy. Pretty awesome. I'm a fan of Rex Smith because he played Daredevil on the incredible Trial of the Incredible Hulk. Why am I talking about Rex Smith? That's what I'm not talking about. That's not lost media. I mean, you can readily find a good deal of Rex Smith. He also did the Sounds of the 70s commercial, the infomercial, which completely changed my life.
What a shame. It's really a great song, but it sounds pretty bad after all these years. Now let's hear what that same song sounds like from Time Life Sounds of the 70s.
So, yeah, we got a little sidetracked here talking about Rex Smith. But let's get back to some lost media. Apparently there was a lost Britney Spears album. Yeah, an album called Original Doll. A few demos and outtakes have surfaced that could have possibly been for this album. It would have been 2005 between In the Zone and Blackout. So I think some of the songs that ended on Blackout may have gotten this, but it was Britney Spears. I think it was like the Ryan Seacrest show, whatever. Ryan Seacrest, everybody. First reference to Ryan Seacrest on here. He's kind of a Rex Smith today, but yeah.
You were so close to that $1 million. Oh my God. You almost had it. You're right.
She was being interviewed, and she said her next album was called Original Doll, and then it wasn't. And then, yeah, it's kind of forgotten. Now, it would be cool to hear. Get another Britney Spears album. But I think some of that, I don't know. We don't might get Britney's kind of like just doing her own thing. We don't know what's gonna happen with Britney Spears, but it'd be cool to kind of hear this stuff. Although some of these demos and outtakes, could be from this. So maybe we've heard it and we don't even know. But the whole album, I guess, as like a cohesive, like all put together properly. That's lost. All right, the last one I'm going to talk about here is another pop star. Gwen Stefani, the music video for her song Serious. Now, the Love Angel Music Baby album is one of my all-time favorite albums. Fantastic. I love No Doubt. No Doubt's one of my all-time favorite bands. But that first Gwen Stefani record is just fantastic. I mean, it's just... I mean, people know she's sold out for pop, and it was like... It's fantastic. I mean, and also, No Doubt were more or less a pop band anyway. I mean, yeah, they were like sort of a ska, punk, new wave, whatever you want to call them. Very hard to really say what they were. I guess you could say it's alternative, because everything in the 90s was alternative. But yeah, I loved her pop debut, Love Angel Music Baby. And the song Serious is like my favorite song in the album. It's my favorite Gwen Stefani song. There's like a snippet of this music video. They made a whole music video, but for whatever reason, the music video just was never released. I mean, all the other, Holler Back Girl, of course, had a music video. What You Waiting For had a music video. Like, Harajuku Girls, and that had a music video? I can't remember. I think it did. But it was like Rich Girl, her collaboration with Eve. That had a music video. I mean, all the big tunes from that, and Serious, like, it should have been a single, but for whatever reason, they're like, no, this is not a single, we're not putting a video. There was a video made, but they're not putting a video. And it's like, where is this music video? People want to see it. I want to see it as a Gwen Stefani fan, as a No Doubt fan, as a No Doubt completist. I gotta see this. Gotta see this whole video for Serious. Which again, just my favorite song on the album. My favorite Gwen Stefani song, one of my all-time favorite pop songs. Gotta see this music video, but it's lost media. Might not ever get released. So there you go. Just a little bit of lost media here. Some of the stuff, has kind of leaked out. There's like partially found kind of things. Either we have like some audio or it's the video's missing or whatever. We know this stuff exists because there's record of it. There are people talking about it. It has been mentioned. So we know it's out there. And there are a lot of devoted people. I'm not one of those people. I mean, just curation is an art in and of itself, and I can't be looking for stuff. I mean, I got things to do, but thankfully there are people out there, these historians, these documentarians, who are trying to track this stuff down and find it. I mean, I do a little bit of investigating myself when I do research for these shows, and I'd love to be the hero to find this, but sometimes, like I said, I got stuff to do. I can't just sit and like ruin my posture sitting over a computer screen all day. Yeah, but yeah, one of these days, some of the stuff might be found, but we'll have to wait. See if it's ever found. But yeah, this is an interesting topic. If you're into lost media, if you're in the search, if you're trying to find this stuff, the best to you, and I hope you enjoyed this. That's it for this week. Until we meet again, this is Brett Strong saying good journey.